to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
To the Board of Supervisors meeting, July the 21st, 2020. Is there any changes to the agenda?
I have none.
I have none. We meet with the department heads and elected officials. Terry Johnson, County Auditor.
Good morning. We got our latest, well, I guess I could say Friday evening, the Legislative Council met because the Secretary of State issued or presented a emergency directive. And so they voted on it because when they changed the laws and took powers away from him, he had to go ask their permission. And he is going to, and they allowed it after they went through a couple amendments and voted those down, and they finally went back to the initial directive and they approved that. And there were several things in there. One of them is the Secretary of State's office will be mailing out absentee request forms like they did for the primary, but those will not be going out, I believe, until probably later in August. I wish it could be sooner, but because people already requested, if anybody calls us, we'll still mail them out the request form. They changed the forms on us too, so we have to send out their forms that they want us to use. And then also UCAVA voters, which is all of our overseas military and civilian citizens, they changed that so that whenever they vote, they can actually email that ballot back to me, and then I put it in an envelope and secure it and everything else. So they're letting electronic transmissions for that. And then they also changed a thing for the healthcare facilities because of the, how Iowa code is. It says it one way, but then if you read another section, it's not quite the same. So they did a correction for the healthcare facilities too. So anyway, we've got our new forms, and we'll be mailing those out to everybody that calls and requests. We're just going to add our post office box on there. We're going to tweak it a little bit so that way we don't have to have a separate paper thing where they need to mail it back to. And then also we're getting ready for the Mediapolis School special election on September the 8th, the day after Labor Day. And so their ballots, we've got the ballots, but we can't officially start mailing those out until August the 10th. So, but we've got it on our election website. I've got it on there, the special election and the request form and all of that. So we'll just tweak it for the November election for all the updates on there too.
The Secretary of State's going to send these absentee ballots out.
The request forms.
The request forms
Yes.
for them. So now the request forms that you've already sent out, is that going to?
Yeah, well, we still honor those. And even if every day we've got people that are calling and asking for request forms, so we have to make sure we use their updated form to mail to them, because we had the form and then we had a section of important dates for them to know. Yes, you might request in your ballot today, but you're not going to get your ballot until October 5th when we can officially mail out the ballot. And we just let people know that, because some people think that as soon as they send that request form in, where's my ballot? Well, we can't mail those out until October 5th.
So on the request form that the Secretary of State sent out, so you're only going to send the ballots out once. That's good.
Yeah.
Clear to me now.
Yeah, and it's only if somebody has an issue with their ballot, they forget to sign their affidavit envelope or something like that, then we send out the second ballot. But the request forms, people that have already submitted them, and if they get these forms in the mail and they mail those in too, that's fine, because we will see that you've already got one, so no, you're not gonna get two ballots. We'll just mark that as a duplicate request form. And so that's what we're doing right now.
Colin Durst, IT.
Just keeping busy like always, nothing new to report.
Sheriff Johnston.
Good morning. Just trying to get back in the saddle after being off for a couple of weeks, so everything's going good at the ESO. of course, we're in the hiring process. We have 2 openings. So we're going through that process right now and trying to find a couple of good candidates to fill those positions. So we'll be probably presenting at least one to you guys here in the next couple of weeks for hire. But other than that, we're keeping busy with the normal summer stuff, doing a little river patrol, those kind of things. So we're
Are the fish biting?
well, I don't know what the bear's called. No, I guess the river is, I mean, the fish are biting, depending on what you're looking for, because it is up a little bit, so, but again, it's still high, and, we still have a lot of people out on the water, and some of them not doing so well with social distancing, which is kind of an issue for us, I think, large groups of kids, which, we don't recommend, but, it's the river and it's summer.
Thank you. Doug Irvine, jail administrator.
Everything's, keeping busy at the jail, of course. Population's holding steady right around that 65 mark. I think we had 67 this morning, and that's been where it's held for several months now. We do have 5, 6 awaiting to go to different facilities. All the facilities are requiring inmates to get COVID tested before going. The state's still providing those tests, and they're getting them back to us within the week. So that's great. And as soon as we get those tests, we can get them to the prisons. We did though have our first inmate test positive for COVID last week. He was in our facility for a couple days before the judge did let him go though. So he was in our quarantine area. Nobody else is exhibiting any signs or symptoms, nor was the person who tested positive. We are gonna test hopefully later this week. When we get enough tests in, test staff if they wish to be tested. Other than that, it all went as smooth as could be for the circumstances.
Are your tests swabs or are they what?
Swabs.
Thanks, Doug.
Yes.
Angie Vaughn, safety.
Good morning. I'm working with something that's a little unusual, but I'd give you guys a heads up. We had a situation with one of our groups where, someone just decided they didn't want to have to be bothered by road crews and actually drove into one of the road crew guys, trying to go around him. This is not the first time we've seen this happen. Last year we had a guy, his elbow was hit by a car because they flew past him. It's just getting out of control, so I've talked with the county attorney's office, asking them about what we can do, and I'm gonna be pushing for the same kind of fines, the same kind of penalties in town as on the highways. These guys shouldn't have to be out there risking their lives trying to maintain our roads for us. And there's no excuse for the behavior that was exhibited. He specifically told him to get the hell out of his way and get in his car. So we'll see how it goes, but I'll keep you guys updated. But I may have to come back and ask for your help too, as far as what the county's policies are. But we've got to make sure that this kind of behavior is stopped.
That'd be something you need to talk to Sheriff Johnson about.
So, is that within the city?
That was actually in West Burlington. He was delivering newspapers in the morning, and they had the road blocked off, and was painting, and he didn't want to get out of his car and walk down to the 2 mailboxes, or even hand it to the guy. The guy said if he had handed me the newspapers, we'd have put them in the mailbox, and got quite belligerent with him, and hit one of them. Not hard, but hard enough that it threw him onto the hood of the car. So,
Should be some code section currently.
well, the county attorney's office said they didn't know if that was considered a construction zone, which shocked me. So he's gonna talk to Lisa and find out more, but
It probably isn't considered a construction zone because they don't just painting lines. They'd have to mark
They had everything marked off and
Yeah,
everything.
yeah, but they'd have to tell people like twice before they get to the.
Brian can tell you about that, right?
Yeah,
Brian?
he knows.
So Brian, what,
I would honestly think that you'd be into the realm of assault.
Correct.
Past the construction zone issues, use your vehicle in that kind of manner. But I'm far from an attorney, as you all know, so, yeah,
how many issues do you have with it?
the closer you get to the urban areas, the more of an issue you have. So we don't have a lot of issues, but people have, it's actually a mixed bag. I mean, you get some frustration, and our flaggers, a lot of times when we do projects big enough to have the proper signing, it's a contractor doing the flagging, and they take quite a bit of abuse, verbally, because I do talk to them periodically when they're out working for us. But yeah, the other issue is people on their phones and not seeing the stuff soon enough. We've had issues that way too, and it's a dangerous place to be. You have to be on your toes, unfortunately, because and I understand what you're saying, because I wish, law enforcement before has said we can't do something because you didn't have whatever signed up, but you do the best you can with the operation you're doing, and you don't always apparently hit whatever standard the county attorney's office wants, and there's a balance there. It's happened for us too, and it's just the nature of it, so I can't really speak to what exactly they look for. But again, somebody is angry enough, whether it's even in construction or not, that they're gonna hit you with their vehicle. There's other issues there, I would think.
There's definitely a code there somewhere.
Okay, well, just keep us informed on that, and thank you for the update on it. Ken Hyman, mental health director, or CPC, or whatever you are.
Yep. Well, our our Southeast Iowa Link region, has mobile crisis, and we've started getting, I think they had their first response just recently, I heard. So over in, Fairfield. So mobile crisis in our region, we have an 8-county region, and right now mobile crisis, is being done by a community which is out of Johnson County. And they're serving Keokuk County, Washington County, Louisa County, and Jefferson County to start this program for the SEAL region. So only half of our counties have mobile crisis. Des Moines County doesn't have it yet. Probably in the next 6 months to a year, they'll be down in Des Moines County and Lee County. We're gonna be the last, there's 3 phases to it, so we'll be phase 3. We'll be the last ones to get mobile crisis. It's a nice thing when, the people can respond to a person in crisis at the location that they're at. So it's a new service, and it is one of those mandated services the state wants us to start. And it's just getting started. But I have a little bit of information, but it really won't be here for another 6 months to a year. So I'll probably wait to put that out when it is in our area.
Okay. Thank you, Ken. Brian Carter, secondary roads.
Good morning. Projects are moving along. I mentioned last week, but Gear Avenue is open now. It's done, but the seeding just got done at the end of the project, and we've got a few folks out there that are frustrated, but it's not a great time to grow grass. So if it doesn't take, we'll obviously have to deal with it this fall. So I guess if you guys get any calls, feel free to pass them on. They've probably already talked to us, but just the way it is, just the timing of the project ended. So it did get all seeded, but there's still obviously quite a bit of grass that needs to grow. And when people mow their lawns, they're a little more sensitive to that. But good project. Certainly rides a whole lot better. I don't know how it couldn't have. So if you haven't been through there, take an opportunity. Upper Flint's moving along. I'd say chance of maybe putting some concrete down on that one next week. So it's coming. Mediapolis bridges are moving. They're working on both bridges a little bit right now, working on the approaches on East Bridge, and still working on forming with maybe an eye on pouring this coming week. Next week, I guess I should say, just depends on, I don't know what their headway's been, but there's a possibility of that. So, things are coming along.
I did drive on that, and it is nice, like you said.
They see how that grass grew on the north end of it here.
Well, it was kind of a bad deal, because the far north end got seeded and was probably the best grass I've ever seen grow ever anywhere. And of course, as we move further south, you got out of the shade and stuff like that. And so there's a stretch, and unfortunately, it's across the frontage of the little group of homes there. I mean, that's mostly the unhappy group, and so they worked it and seeded it, and it just didn't take. I mean, so we actually came back, but unfortunately in that time period, because then by the end of the project, we worked everything. We had the contractor rework all of it again and reseed it all. I know Tom has had a call and contacted me about it, but until then, it was, kind of clumps of grass and weeds and stuff like that, and so we reworked it, reseeded it, and that just got seeded last week. So nothing is happening at this point yet. So we'll keep an eye on it. We'll deal with it. So.
We got some rain for it.
Yep. So, but
Ryan?
yeah, it's a nice project. It was a good improvement.
Thank you.
Colin? I got Rodney Bleasner, Des Moines County Maintenance.
Rodney, Blazer, Des Moines County Maintenance, can you hear me?
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, I don't have too much to report. I do want to give notice that tomorrow, the south front section of the sidewalk is going to be closed. We're going to be closing off. We had a couple sections of sidewalk that heaved up about a week and a half ago, so that's getting replaced tomorrow. So the front doors will be open for tomorrow only. We'll have the front door open. You will still have access on the handicap side. The handicap access door will still be open. You can get to it easily from the south side, but we're going to block off that south front section of sidewalk so they can do those repairs. We don't really want anybody walking around in the street or walking around the work zone, so we're going to open up the front doors for just tomorrow. They should only take them one day to tear it out and pour some new sidewalk, and it should be back open for Wednesday or for Thursday. I'm sorry. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Rodney.
Chris Lee, Conservation.
Chris Lee, Conservation.
Hi, can you hear me?
We can hear you good, Chris.
I'm having a real hard time hearing you guys. Anyway, well, mine's real quick today. The team's out doing storm cleanup from the storm that rolled through last week. We got a lot of trees down out on the parks and out on the trails. We're hoping to get our FEMA contractor in. They had to crush some rock, so they're a little behind on getting the rock hauled down to our boat ramps. And then we, in light of the virus issue, we continue to cancel some of our big group events. Most recently, we decided to cancel our summer celebration, which we always hold in August. Kind of celebrates all things park. It's our big annual get together we have at Stars Cave. We've canceled that, and then we've also canceled our in-person volunteer dinner, simply because we couldn't really come up with a way to maintain distancing. We are going to do something for that one instead. We just haven't quite figured out exactly what that's going to be. It just won't be with a big group of people in close quarters in the same proximity. For a lot of this stuff, we're going to be doing some video content. We'll be sharing that through our YouTube channel, our Facebook channels, and on our website. So if anybody wants to kind of keep up on those type things, So that is it for this week.
Thanks, Chris.
Jared Lassiter, land use.
Jared Lassiter, land.
Morning. I really don't have anything specific to report today. I've had a few new land use inquiries, but nothing substantial. Don't have anything on the agenda. And might have a subdivision, minor subdivision coming through here soon, but still waiting on that to be submitted. So I really don't have anything to report.
Thanks, Jared.
Jackie Meyer, clerk of court.
Jackie Myers, clerk court.
Good morning, everyone. I don't have a lot new to report other than we've been very, very busy in both offices with the in-person hearings resuming and with all the protocols that are put in place by state court administration. We've just tried to get it figured out what works best for our offices and for the public. But overall, just real busy and just feeling great to have folks able to come in and come to our offices. So that's all I have.
Thanks, Jackie.
Lisa Schaefer, Des Moines County attorney.
Lisa Schaefer, Des Moines County attorney.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Just a few things. We had an attorney who tendered his resignation. He was actually our newest hire, originally from Omaha, and decided he was feeling a little isolated here in Burlington, especially during COVID, and has just basically decided to return to the Omaha area. So we're sorry to see him go, and we're actively looking for a substitute position. We're working on the Carpel project, which is our data management system, to get that transferred over. Hopefully, I think we're still shooting for the October date. I believe we are actually ahead of schedule. So thanks very much to Colin and his crew for helping us with that project. As Jackie mentioned, we are resuming in-person court. Had our first COVID exposure on last week. So kind of dealing with how to handle protocols when we do have that issue. So far, I think it's been fairly smooth. We have been resuming depositions, and thanks to the Board of Supervisors and the Auditor's Office for allowing us to use the Board of Supervisors room. And we're going to start using that tomorrow with some depositions that we have. So hopefully we'll have all of the discovery done. So when we're ready to begin jury trials in September, we're all ready to go. Other than that, just kind of reviewing some of the new law changes that came out of Des Moines and how it'll affect the county, our office, and obviously the criminal justice defendants that we have. So we're staying busy.
Thank you, Lisa.
That's all I have.
Okay. We have the, no COVID-19 update. I will say that if anybody's listening to this, meeting and wanna call in, or you can email the supervisors at board@dmcounty.com or call 319-753-8203, extension 4. That's 319-753-8203, extension 4. Correspondence, I have none here, and I have none myself. You, Bob?
I have.
Okay, we shall move on for discussion and vote. We have accounts payable claims in the amount of I wish it was, $1,046,938.68. Second, Terry?
Bob Beck,
Yes.
Jim Carrey.
Yes. We have a cigarette tobacco license for the River Mart, and everything is, the auditor always checks these over, so they are in good shape for us. Second, Terry?
Bob Beck,
Yes.
Jim Carrey.
Yes. We have a Class C liquor license private bar, at the barn on the ridge. And just check over for the county auditors, taking care of this.
Move to approve.
Second, Terry?
Bob Beck,
Yes.
Jim Carrey.
Yes. And we have reports from the Dewey Buyer Trust and the Sheriff's Monthly Report for June of 2020 and Southeast Iowa Riverboat Commission Report. And these reports will be on file for reviewing at the county auditor's office. We have the minutes for the regular meeting on July the 14th, 2020.
Approve.
Second, Terry?
Bob Beck,
Yes.
Jim Carrey.
Yes. Is there any other business?
I have none.
I have none. Future agenda items.
We'll fix something.
I have no future agenda items. Committee reports.
Sheriff Johnstone and I attended a DESCOM meeting. And, wouldn't say everything went our way, but we, city folks.
Okay, I have none. It's time for the public input. And we will give you 2 minutes for the public input. We'll put it on the clock and you can call 319-753-8203, extension 4. And we will give you 2 minutes, starting now.
People ever hear how many people really died from COVID?
No.
I heard a guy about it. Florida died in a motorcycle wreck and he had COVID.
My mom has lung cancer, and she was in the hospital. She's on her last days. They put her on blood thinner because she had clots in her lungs. Went in and sent her home. Within 2 days, she was bleeding profusely and had to go back in. And when my brother went to go see her, it said COVID. He had a fit. I think it was removed because I think he got ugly about it.
Yeah.
Seriously, had nothing to do with that.
You hear these nurses working in these hospitals that get on this Facebook, you know, they post this on there, how all these people have been dying, cancer and that, and they automatically put COVID on there.
I think we made a
Sure
big
not.
mistake saying we'd give you an incentive for every case you have.
I heard a good one last night, that, the best part about this whole virus thing was, they found a cure for pneumonia. Haven't heard anybody die of pneumonia.
Well, I think that's why they put it on hers was, you know, it's lung cancer, it's respiratory, so they just thought about it. I at least thought, I knew the numbers on how many people were affected were not gonna be right, but I at least thought maybe we'd know how many people actually died from it.
You think the medical community would must be getting a paid incentive from the government.
Well, now everyone's saying they made mistakes. The most recent one was New Jersey. They said they made a mistake on how they calculated. Florida had some issues. Tennessee had issues. And they just say, well, we documented it all.
I think it will all change from November 4th.